let's face it, we all knew this video was coming sooner or later. The one video that all YouTube animators eventually steal from each other. Because every single one of us thinks randomly sometimes. But you know what? I've been thinking randomly for years, and I have quite the surplus of random thoughts stuck in my brain. So I don't care if it's cliché or unoriginal, I need to unleash these thoughts, dang it! So, without further ado, let's dive straight into my brain. Be sure to keep your arms and legs inside the ride at all times, because it's gonna get very bumpy. You know how some superheroes have the power to fire laser beams out of their eyes? It's a very cool superpower. Unless you don't have the ability to turn it off. But the more I thought about it, the more I wondered, what do they see while firing the lasers? If you're firing a hot beam of light out of your eyes, would you not be able to see for a short amount of time? Let's say I'm a superhero firing a villain. Firing a villain? What? Let's say I'm a superhero fighting a villain, and I use my laser eyes to stun them. Would I be able to see my target while firing? Or just a big red circle the whole time?
Stop right there, criminal scum!
Haha, no!
Very well. You leave me no choice. Did I get him?
If that were the case, it would be a very inconvenient superpower. Also, do laser beams ever dissipate? Let's say I use this laser gun and fire it straight into the sky. Would it eventually fade away, or would it continue flying in that direction for all eternity? If it doesn't disappear and continues flying, it would have to eventually hit something, right?
Man, I sure am glad I live in a private space resort where nothing remotely bad can happen whatsoever. Ow.
Whenever I'm watching a sci-fi film that involves people walking around in a spaceship, I always wonder, how does artificial gravity on spaceships work? I'm no expert in physics, but I'm pretty sure it's impossible to walk on the ground in space. If people are walking on the ground, does that mean the spaceship has its own gravitational force? If that's the case, then how do rocket engineers implement that? Okay, sir, I've added the finishing touches on the spaceship, and it also has its own gravity.
Wow, that's really cool. How'd you implement that?
Why do people sometimes draw the sun with sunglasses? The sun is the biggest star in our solar system. I don't think it's necessary to include shades if it's the brightest bulb in the bunch. Is the sun trying to block out the brightness of other stars in the galaxy? Or is the sun just trying to look cooler? I don't know. Look, I get that you're the brightest star in our solar system, but those shades aren't making you look cooler. If I strapped a jetpack on and I started flying around in the air, would the flames of the jetpack eventually burn off my legs? Hear me out, if the jetpack is strapped onto my back, the flames would probably be pretty close to my legs. And if a jetpack can shoot out a flame that's powerful enough to lift me in the air, it would have to be a very huge and hot flame. Wow, this view is so beautiful. Nothing could ever top this feeling. If lizards can regrow their tails after it's been cut off, what if the tail piece grows back into a new lizard? If we repeated this process, would we end up with a whole army of lizards? Wait, starfish also have the ability to regrow limbs. If we applied that logic to starfish, we would have a bunch of starfish too. What if starfish and lizards had an all-out war over who's the superior regenerative species? It's all over, General Scales. My army of superior starfish troops have won. Now, admit you've lost and that we're the superior species.
Nonsense! You forgot about my twin brother!
What? If you get killed by someone and become a ghost afterwards, are you now stuck having to haunt the person who killed you? What if I died in a car accident? With that logic in mind, would I have to haunt the car? Or would I have to haunt the person who created the car?
Car engineer.
Whoa, who are you?
I am that guy John. You created the car responsible for my death. Now prepare yourself for illogical torment.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video, guys. If you enjoyed this banger video by that guy John, then drop a sub and a like. And after that, if you're feeling ever so gracious, you should probably watch BrodyAnimates. I hear his videos are really good. I wouldn't know it personally, but you know, word of mouth gets around, and I've heard good things, okay? I'll see you guys in the next. Ooh, I won't, but John will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Bye, John. Bye, audience. Goodbye.